has restrained me from bearing children. Take my servant Hagar, that I may obtain children through her.
God, don't forget me.
She was running. Sand burned beneath her feet. The sun scorched her skin. Her breath came in sharp, broken gasps. She was alone, pregnant, and unwanted, cast out, used, forgotten. To the world, she was nothing more than a slave, an Egyptian woman with no name, no power, no future, but in the middle of that merciless desert, when hope was gone and death felt close, God found her. This is the story of Hagar, the woman the world overlooked, the mother history tried to forget, and the first person in Scripture to give God a name. This is the story of El Roi, the God who sees. This story doesn't begin in the desert. It begins in the wealthy, sun-soaked camp of a man named Abram and his wife Sarai. From the outside, they had everything: flocks, servants, influence, honor. But inside their tent was a painful silence. Years earlier, God had promised Abram something impossible, that his descendants would be more numerous than the stars.
The years have passed, Abram. The promise feels as sand in my hands, falling, slipping away. Will you let it vanish while we wait for a womb that will not open?
Yet year after year, Sarai remained barren. Every passing season turned hope into ache. Every fulfilled promise around them made the silence louder. And living quietly within this household was a young Egyptian servant named Hagar, a foreigner, a slave, a woman with no voice. She did not choose this life. She did not choose this land, and she certainly did not choose what would happen next. One day, Sarai's grief hardened into desperation. Believing God needed help, she made a decision that would change every life in that tent.
The Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Take my servant Hagar, that I may obtain children through her.
She turned to Abram and said, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." In that moment, Hagar stopped being a person and became a solution. She was given to Abram without consent, without choice, without protection. Her body was used to carry someone else's dream, but heaven was watching. And what humans meant for convenience, God was about to use for destiny. Hagar conceived, and everything changed. For the first time in her life, she carried value that no one could take away. Inside her womb grew Abram's first son, the long-awaited heir. The slave had become the mother of the promise, and with that new status came a dangerous shift. Scripture tells us that when Hagar realized she was pregnant, she began to look down on Sarai. Maybe it was pride, maybe it was relief, maybe it was years of silent pain finally surfacing. But Sarai felt it immediately. Every glance, every pause, every unspoken reminder of her barrenness. The bitterness exploded. She stormed to Abram, her voice shaking with rage.
You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I placed my slave in your arms, and now she despises me.
Grief. You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now she despises me. Abram didn't defend Hagar. He didn't protect her. Instead, he stepped back.
She is your slave. Do with her as you please.
She is your slave, he said. Do with her as you please. And Sarai did. Scripture says she mistreated Hagar, a word that implies harsh, crushing humiliation. The woman who forced her into pregnancy now made her life unbearable. What once felt like hope turned into torment. And once again, Hagar had no choice. She ran, pregnant, alone, afraid. Hagar fled into the wilderness, toward Egypt, the only home she remembered. The desert of Shur was brutal, deadly, unforgiving. Eventually, her strength gave out. She collapsed beside a small spring of water, a fragile lifeline in an endless wasteland. And there, something extraordinary happened. The angel of the Lord appeared to her, not Abram, not Sarai, but Hagar, the slave, and he called her by name. Hagar,
Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?
slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going? For the first time, someone saw her story. I'm running away from my mistress, she whispered. Then came the command that felt impossible. Go back and submit. But God never gives a command without a promise. I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count. Then he said, you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery. Ishmael, God hears. In the wilderness, God heard her. And then came the prophecy. He will be like a wild donkey of a man. Not an insult, a promise of freedom. Her son would never be a slave. Overwhelmed, Hagar did something unprecedented. She named God, El Roi, the God who sees me. And with that promise burning in her heart, Hagar turned around. She returned, not defeated, but chosen. Years passed. Ishmael was born, and for 14 years he was Abraham's only son. Then God fulfilled his promise to Sarah. Isaac was born. Joy filled the camp, but tension followed. At a celebration feast, Sarah saw Ishmael laughing, mocking, playing. To her it didn't matter. He was a threat. She demanded the unthinkable. Get rid of that slave woman and her son. Abraham was devastated. But God spoke, do not be distressed. I will also make a nation of the slave woman's son.
I will make him into a great nation.
Early the next morning, Abraham handed Hagar bread, a skin of water, and sent her away. No blessing, no protection, just exile again.
Rise, my son, look! Water is near!
The water ran out. The sun beat down. Ishmael collapsed. Hagar laid him under a bush and walked away. I cannot watch my son die, she sobbed. And once again, God heard. Do not be afraid, Hagar. Then Scripture says something powerful. God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. It was there all along. Grief had blinded her. Hope rushed back. Life returned. El Roi had seen her again. God was with Ishmael. He grew strong, a skilled archer, a free man, and Hagar, the slave, the outcast, the woman history ignored, became the mother of a nation. Have you ever felt invisible, forgotten, cast aside, lost in your own desert? Hagar's story reminds us God sees, God hears, God provides. The wilderness did not destroy them. It revealed who God had always been. God was with the boy as he grew, and the woman the world tried to forget became the mother of a nation. Hagar was seen, her cries were heard, and in the place where she thought life was ending, God proved once more that his promises do not depend on human approval. He is El Roi, the God who sees, and he still sees you.
Friends, how did you see our video today? We believe that you've been uplifted. Thank you for watching Morrelcoo. This is a holistic channel, and if up till this time you have not subscribed to our channel, please tap on the subscribe button and the notification bell. Just because God said it and has not done it yet doesn't mean he will not do it. Hold on, keep believing, have faith, and trust us. He will surely come. See you in our next story. Bye.